Hey guys, and welcome back to part 2 on the expansion video. In the previous one we took a look at these examples here and how to expand your brackets. What we're doing in this video is just doing on these last two slides here and simplifying and expanding a lot of these. So let's just start with question A. So question A is going to be 2x minus 3 multiplied by 3x squared plus 2x minus 4. So from this, I can already see I'm going to get a cubic equation because, well, for starters, I'm going to have the 2x multiplied by all this. And I've got an x squared here, so I know it's going to be a cubic. So best way to rewrite it is, rather than draw the arrows, is just rewrite it like this. So write 2x multiplied by this entire thing. So 3x squared plus 2x minus 4. Then write the second element, so minus 3, and then go 3x squared plus 2x minus 4. So that's just an easier way to, rather than doing a bunch of arrows, so for example, rather than doing this, this, and this, in case that's a bit confusing for you, here's just another way to write it out. So we go 2x times by 3x squared, so we're going to get 6x cubed. 2x times 2x is going to be plus 4x squared. 2x times by minus 4 is going to be minus 8x. Minus 3 times by 3x squared is going to be minus 9x squared. Minus 3 times by 2x is going to be minus 6x, and then minus 3 times by minus 4 is going to be positive 12. Then we pretty much look for like terms. There's no other cubic terms, but there are two x squared terms and two linear terms. So what we're going to have is 6x cubed. Then we're going to have 4x squared minus 9x squared, so that's going to be minus 5x squared. Minus 8x minus 6x is going to be, what's that? Oh, that's terrible. Minus 14x. I can't believe I didn't really know that. Plus 12. And that's it. So that's question A done, and let's just do it for the rest of them pretty much. So a lot of it's repetitive work, but you need to keep doing this. That way, when you're in the exam and you have to do this with another question, it's super easy because you've done all this practice. It's pretty much muscle memory and algebraic practice otherwise. So let's rub this stuff out. And let's have a go at question B. So question B is very similar. I'm looking forward to doing these ones down here because they've got a couple of things in there. So B is going to be x minus 1 multiplied by x squared plus x plus 1. So just rewrite it as x times by x squared plus x plus 1. Minus, and then this element here, which is minus 1, multiplied by x squared plus x plus 1. So what we're going to have is, alright, the first term is going to be x cubed, second term is going to be plus x squared, and then the last term will be plus x. Then we're going to have minus x squared, minus x, minus 1. So all I did was distribute this to each of the terms, and this to each of the terms here. So we can see we've got a couple things that can be cancelling out. That can cancel out with that, and that can cancel out with that. So all we're left with is x cubed minus 1. So yeah, that's about it for that one because a lot of it cancelled out. So let's have a go at question C. Right, so C. They've written around a funny way. They've written the bigger one first, but you can just rewrite it the other way if you really wanted to. So I'm going to rewrite it the other way. So 4 minus 2x multiplied by 6 minus 2x minus 3x squared. Okay, so I'm going to rewrite this as 4 times by 6 minus 2x minus 3x squared minus 2x times by all this, so 6 minus 2x minus 3x squared. Alright, 4 times 6 is 24. 4 times minus 2x is going to be minus 8x. 4 times minus 3 is going to be minus 12x squared. Negative 2x times by 6 is going to be minus 12x. Negative 2x times by negative 2x is going to be positive 4x squared. Negative 2x times by minus 3x squared is going to be positive 6x cubed. And that's it. Now we just look for like terms. There's no cubic, so we'll write that at the front as the highest degree of polynomial. We've got 2x squared term, so minus 12 plus 4 is going to be minus 8x squared. Then we have minus 8 and minus 12, so it's going to be minus 20x. And there's no other numbers, so plus 24. And that's it. So let's have a go at question D now. So a lot of it's actually very repetitive, but the reason why I'm going through all of them is because just in case someone was pretty much practicing them, and I'm showing you how to do it step by step pretty much. So D, let's have a go at D. So we've got 5x minus 3 multiplied by x plus 2 minus 2x minus 3 multiplied by x plus 3. So what we're going to do is we're just going to take a look at each of these individually. Don't worry about combining them yet, because we need to multiply these two together and these two together first, and then we're going to pretty much add and subtract like terms. So for now, let's just take a look at the first set of brackets at the front here. So just these yellow ones here. So what we're going to do is FOIL. So we're going to go multiply this by that, and this by that, and that. So first one, 5x times by x is going to be 5x squared. 5x times by 2 is going to be positive 10x. Minus 3 times by x is minus 3x. Minus 3 times by 2 is going to be minus 6. And that's pretty much that yellow bit there. Now let's take a look at pretty much this bit here. Pretty much going to do the exact same thing. So 2x times by x times by 3. Negative 3 times by x times by 3. So what we're going to have is, alright, now don't forget this minus sign at the front. So leave these guys for now and have minus and then brackets, and now just fill in the stuff. Because that negative is going to affect this entire product here. Because what this is saying is negative 1 times by all that pretty much. So we'll distribute the negative once we've done this stuff here. So 2x times by x is going to be 2x squared. 2x times by 3 is positive 6x. Minus 3 times by x is going to be minus 3x, and then minus 3 times 3 is minus 9. Now I'm going to distribute the negative to every single term here. Okay, so in other words, I'm just going to flip the sign. So this is going to be minus 2x squared minus 6x, positive 3x, and positive 9. So in other words, this is what we have: 5x squared plus 10x minus 3x minus 6 minus 2x squared minus 6x plus 3x plus 9. So now we look for like terms. So at the moment I can see, alright, that's a like term with that, and that's about it. What else do we have? We've got like terms with x's, so these guys are like terms, and so are these guys, and our numbers of course are like terms. So add the x squares together. So 5x squared minus 2x is going to be 3x squared. This here is going to be 7x. This here is going to be minus 3x. So 7x plus minus 3x is going to be positive 4x. Minus 6 plus 9 is going to be 3. And that's it. So what we've done there is pretty much, alright, do that individually, sort out all that, apply the negative, add the like terms together, and ta-da, you get that pretty much. So that's question D done. Let's have a go at question E now. So question E is built in a similar fashion. There's actually not much difference between the two. The only thing that's really different is the numbers, but the method is exactly the same. You just do one of the brackets. You do one of the sets of brackets, and then you pretty much do the other one, and then you combine them together. So E is going to be 2x plus 3 multiplied by 3x minus 2 minus 4x plus 2 and 4x minus 2. So let's just handle pretty much this first one here. So 2x times by 3x times by minus 2, 3 times by 3x times minus 2. So the first term, 2x times 3x is going to be 6x squared. 2x times minus 2 is going to be minus 4x. 3 times by 3x is going to be positive 9x. And then 3 times minus 2 is minus 6. So that's that bit there. That's pretty much just that orange bit. Now, we've got to handle this one first, but don't forget that negative is affecting all of that. So first, outer, inner, last, all that stuff here. But I just like to draw the arrow so you can see exactly what you're doing. So minus brackets 4x times 4x is going to be 16x squared. 4x times by minus 2 is going to be minus 8x. 2 times by 4x is going to be positive 8x. And then 2 times minus 2 is going to be minus 4. Okay, we can see those two cancel out. So what we have is minus 16x squared minus 4. Now I'm going to apply the negative to here and here. So it's going to be minus 16x squared plus 4. So in total we've got 16x squared minus 4x plus 9x minus 6 minus 16x squared plus 4. So that's what we pretty much have. Now we look for like terms. So at the moment I can see, alright, that's a like term with that. and I can also see straight away that these are like terms, and the numbers, of course, are like terms. So 6x squared plus minus 16x squared is going to be minus 10x squared. Negative 4x plus 9x is going to be positive 5x. And then minus 6 plus 4 is going to be minus 2. And that's about it. So those are all those ones done. Pretty simple, but it can be complicated if you don't know how to do the easy ones. Like, for example, if you didn't know how to do FOIL, these ones can be a bit tricky. And applying that negative always gets missed all the time. But the best way to do it is just take your time with it, draw your arrows, and know your step by step pretty much. Let's have a go at the next couple of questions. And these ones are a bit harder because, as you can see, there's very little numbers in them. So, for example, this one has no numbers at all. Well, it does, as the coefficients, they're just ones and negative ones. But you can see down here, we've got lots of letters starting to appear. Okay? So, let's have a go at A. So, A is going to be x minus y plus z multiplied by x minus y minus z. So, what we want to do is, alright, all this needs to be multiplied by this, so we multiply x by this bracket, negative y by this bracket, and positive z by that bracket. So in other words, we can rewrite it like this. So x times by x minus y minus z minus y of x minus y minus z plus z times by x minus y minus z. So all I'm doing is I'm multiplying my individual components I have here by the following bracket, as you can see pretty much here. So in other words, what color haven't I used? This one. That's the same there, there, there. And I'm multiplying each of the elements individually of that bracket, because that's what it's pretty much doing. It's going, alright, x times by that, 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 y times by that, that, etc. and stuff. So let's do the first one. So x times by x is going to be x squared. X times by minus y is going to be minus xy. You can't combine them because they're different variables, so you're just going to leave it like that. Same with the z, is going to be minus xz. Minus y times by x is going to be minus xy. Minus y times by minus y is going to be positive y squared. You can combine those because they are like variables, so you can apply your index laws. Minus y times by minus z is going to be positive zy or yz. Doesn't really matter how you write it, because 2 times 3 is the same as 3 times 2, etc. So z times by x is going to be positive xz. Z times by y is going to negative y is going to be minus zy, and then z times by negative z is going to be negative z squared. Okay, so now we're going to look for like terms. So that's a like term with that, and that's about it. What else can we have? We've got this. That's a like term there. That can cancel out because that's positive and that's negative. What else do we have? That can cancel with that, and all we're left with is, yeah, pretty much that. So what we have is, alright, x squared plus y squared minus 2xy and minus z squared. That's it. So that's what you get for A. Let's move on to question B. If you have any questions at all throughout the video, try and leave some in the comments and I'll try my best to answer them, okay? Alright, let's rub that out. Right, let's take a look at B. So B is going to be 2a minus b plus c multiplied by 2a minus b minus c. So, going to pretty much do the exact same thing we did with question A. We'll just take our time with it. So it's going to be 2a times by all this. So 2a minus b minus c minus b multiplied by all this. So 2a minus b minus c, and that's going to be positive c times by all this. So 2a minus b minus c. So now we're just going to pretty much do the exact same thing as we did before. So this will be, the first term will be 4a squared minus 2ab minus 2ac. Then it's going to be minus 2ab positive b squared positive bc. Then it's going to be plus 2ac minus cb minus c squared. Okay. Now we look for like terms. That's a like term with that. That is a like term with that, but they're the same thing in the opposite, so you can actually cancel those guys out. What else? that is the same as that, except the opposite term, so you can also cancel out those guys. So all we're left with is pretty much what remains, because the rest aren't like terms. So you can have 4a squared minus 4ab plus b squared minus c squared, and that's it. Right, let's take a look at C. So C is going to be 3w minus 4z plus u multiplied by 3w plus 4z minus u. So exact same thing as before. This will be 3w multiplied by 3w plus 4z minus u minus 4z times by all that. So 3w plus 4z minus u plus u times by 3w plus 4z minus u. And now we'll pretty much do the exact same thing. So we're going to have 9w squared plus 12wz minus 3wu minus 12zw minus 16z squared positive 4zu plus 3uw plus 4uz minus u squared. Okay, now we look for like terms as same before. That same as that, so they can get cancelled out. What else? This is the same as that. They can get cancelled out as well. And that's about it, very much. This is a like term with that, but they're not opposite signs, so you can't cancel them out. So what we're left with is 9w squared minus 16z squared plus 8zu. And what was the last time? Oh yeah, minus u squared. And that's it for C. Let's take a look at the final one of this video. Now this one looks a bit complicated because it's got surds, but it's exactly the same process as before. And you'll see, yeah, it's not that much harder. The only thing that's different is that square root sign. But we can break that down easily with index laws. So, once I'm done rubbing this out, rub that out as well. So, D 2a minus square root of 5b plus c multiplied by 2a plus the square root of 5b plus c. So I can rewrite this as 2a times by 2a plus square root of 5b plus c minus the square root of 5b times by 2a plus square root of 5b plus c multiplied by 2a plus the square root of 5b plus c. Righto, so multiply this to that, to that, to that, same as before. So it's going to be 4a squared plus, now the 2 times the square root of 5, we can't really evaluate that, so we have to leave it as 2 root 5. So what this is going to be is 2 root 5 ab, or ba, doesn't really matter. Okay? Then it's going to be plus 2ac, and then we're going to do the same thing here, that to that, to that, to that. So it's going to be minus 2 root 5 ab. Now here you've got the square root of 5 times the square root of 5. The square root of something just means that something to the power of a half. So what we technically have is 5 to the power of a half times by 5 to the power of a half. And if you remember your index laws, you just add the indices. So a half plus a half is 1. So 5 to the 1. So in other words, square root of 5 times the square root of 5 is just 5. So what we have here is going to be minus 5b squared. And that's it. So that's for this one here when you multiply. Then we're going to have minus square root 5cb. Then we're going to have these guys getting multiplied out. So we're going to have plus 2ac plus square root of 5bc plus c squared. Now we pretty much look for like terms, same as before. So we know that's not a like term. This is the same as that, but opposite sign, so you can cancel that out. That is a like term with that, but the same sign, so you can leave that. That can get cancelled with that. And all we're left with is pretty much this. So we're going to have 4a squared plus 2 of those, so it's going to be 4ac minus 5b squared plus c squared. And that's it. That's also the end of our lesson on expansion. Bit of an introductory topic before math methods, but still good to know because you need to be pretty good at this if you want to have a shot at solving quadratic equations. If you had any questions at all throughout the video, leave some in the comments and I'll try my best to answer them. And I'll see you in the next video.